Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. I left last week with an assignment. How many of you have completed? Two assignments, rather. You all remember what is that? Can you all hear
Yes,
me?
sir. Yeah, you are audible, sir. One was that how we can be a part of change. This we can be a part of change. How we can be a part of change.
Okay. How we can be a part? No, I said I. Okay, correct. So understood. That's one. What is one more?
Yeah, one more I am recollecting, sir. Now.
Yeah, anybody who attended last class can support or help him. Okay. So there was a case which I have given you and I left you with, which I asked you to do at home. But anyway, I understand nobody has done it. And second one, I said, if you want to be a change agent, you all said that, I said you have to motivate the other people to get it. But I see rather the number is decreased instead of increasing it.
Yeah, this is the case across, sir. Across the classes, the case is same in the morning also. Since it was the last class for talent development, the whole number of participants was just 7. You are having
Okay.
even double.
Okay. So the change is not possible with that group here.
Percentage wise, it is increasing, sir, in your class.
Okay. I understand. Okay, fine. So at least I'm happy that there are some people who are putting in efforts in terms of making this to go ahead. So that's
Right.
nice. Anyway, let's discuss about today's class. Maybe there are certain things that are very, very important that today probably being.
Sir,
So we are
some of the students, we have put the message in the group
okay.
regarding the classes.
Okay.
Like these are interesting, join, or some or other way we have tried. We tried to do it, but like don't know. Let's see. Maybe in half an hour the number can increase.
Good, good. No issues. See, it's okay. Those
Uh,
who are interested, those who are free, definitely they will attend. Uh, it's not about the class being interesting. So certain times whether class is interesting or not, if you have now aptitude to learn, definitely you'll make a point. But anyway, that's let's not wait for anybody else. If they join, they are most welcome to join in the group. I mean, in the class. So let's focus on this. One is understanding the OD and change process and overcoming the resistance to change. This is what we've been looking at. And today we will focus basically on this. There are few things that I wanted you all to focus because can anybody roughly, before I proceed further, can anybody roughly say what are those topics that we covered in the 4 weeks? Just the topics, outliners. The day one, what was it about? Day two, day three, day four. Anyone remembers? Yes, no. I want you a thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever it is. Hello.
Sir, I don't remember all the topics.
Yeah,
I
whatever you
just
remember, that's fine. Whatever you remember. There are only 4 that we dealt.
sir, some of the models we have seen.
Wonderful. Okay, models we have seen.
And last lecture, we have seen like how to bring about the change.
How to?
Bring about a change.
How to bring about the change. Wonderful. The first two.
Sir,
That was
in the
about
first,
innovation. First was about innovation, like all about innovation. What is
Wonderful.
innovation and what is innovation management? That's it, I
Yeah,
remember, sir.
good. So,
in
Ramesh,
the in the
yeah,
first class, sir, is, what is the innovation management? I think purpose of the innovation management and the value addition was also value innovation.
yes,
Yeah, and difference between the change and innovation management also there.
good, very good,
And lastly, we finished with the resistance to change. I think the four aspects were there: cultural, organizational, social, and political.
very good, very good. So good. We have discussed about what is change,
Yeah.
what is innovation, what is organizational development, what are the some of the models which we can implement over a
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we also discussed about how do we overcome resistance to change. There are 7, 8 steps that we discussed about each step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are
Yeah.
the things that we have seen.
Yeah.
And
Some
today, the
cha-
being the most,
some
yeah,
sir, some challenges were also discussed, na? Operational challenges, commercial, financial, and
wonderful,
organizational. Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. Yes. So we have also discussed about the challenges. Good. Happy that it's still fresh in the memory of a couple of you. So that's nice.
And we also
Uh,
discussed why change is required.
why change is required? Yes. Why change is required? And today we will be probably looking at these are the things that we will be focusing on. What is the different defining the organizational slides, client relationships, and what are the red flags that we will see? What is the role of a change in the organizational success and resistant to change and life cycle of resistance to change? So this is what we will be looking at, and let's focus. The first one is OD practitioner style. So now, before I speak about OD practitioner style, I just wanted to say it's a mandatory for each one of us to know what exactly the role of organizational development or change agents. So that's what is this one we are speaking about. Now, we are known as organizational practitioners are referred to a change agents. So that's what we are mentioning and are directly involved in organizational functions where a change in policy, procedure, leadership, or even business model are connected. So that means whatever the kind of change that happens in the organization, these are the critical people who involve in order to percolate down that change to everybody. So that's what it speaks about. Now, what is the objective of these organizational practitioners? So, like a change agents in the organizations, one is to act as a liaison between the upper and tier management. That's a very, very important because the change begins from the top management that has to percolate down to the lower level where every member in the organization, every employee or a team members in the organizations, they feel that it is a need. So that's where these people work as a licensing officers. That's what we are speaking about. Because that's the most important. Unless there is somebody who connects between the upper and lower, the change will not be successful. Then work with both the parties to ensure change is understood and put into practice. This is the most important element. What exactly the change that the top management wanting to drive down that needs to be understood properly by every change agent, and that needs to be percolated down to the lower level in such a way that the even the employees down level understand the same as what management is expecting to understand. Now this is exactly we focus on communication skills. What we speak about, what is the communicator sender is sending it, what is the receiver receiving it should be the same. So now we in between, in terms of a sender and receiver, the change agents act as the instrument. Now that's a most important role. Here, if the change agent understands something different and communicates down something different, and they understand the entire change process will become a failure. Now that's why change agent is a catalyst. Implement suitable organizational practitioner styles are available to help suit the needs in such an organization's unique makeup. Now, there are different styles which change agents can implement. The change agent needs to understand which style is apt, under which circumstances, for under which conditions, and to whom it is. Now, the change agent is supposed to understand that particular style and then communicate that to the people. Now, that's the most important thing, that the change agent needs to practice these things. Because if you don't understand, if you don't practice, what happens? That becomes a failure concept. Now, that's a reason it's not easy for everyone and anyone to say that I can drive it. Why is that this particular topic is being introduced in the ISTD course, diploma course, is that because most of you are studying organizational development. You might be a L&D, you might be a talent management, probably wherever you are. You should be a change agent when you are working here as a HR person, as a change agent person. There are departments who have organizations which have a separate department in terms of driving this particular change. Now, what are the different styles that we have is that depending upon the change being made or the type of organization in question, different organizational practitioner styles are available to help suit the needs of each organization's unique makeup. Now, every style doesn't fit to every organization. Each style is unique. Now, this is exactly we have been communicating or discussing in the last couple of minutes. Now, there is a separate style for each organization. There is a separate style for each type of change that needs. Now, these are some of the styles that we will be discussing today. One is the cheerleader style. What is a cheerleader style? The stabilizer style, the analyzer style, the persuader style, and the pathfinder style. So these are the 5 styles that we will discuss. Anybody who know what are these styles are all about? Can you guess? Anyone?
Sir, these are the behavior of the customers actually.
Okay.
In our role, we these styles we could study in sales and marketing. Like these are the customers. Like in doctor setup, these are the different kind of customers. So accordingly, if we understand their behavior, we can match our behavior. We can tune our behavior with them, and we can like have a good interactions.
That's wonderful. You are very well connecting this subject to your own functional area. So, but
Yes.
can you tell me what do you think is a cheerleader? Maybe in your own functional time.
Cheerleader is something like who is uh, a person who is I'm not very much well connecting with this particular, but like analyzer. Analyzer means the person who is having, like in doctor clinic setup, we understand like who is having lots of books and other things in his table. So we understand that he is a kind of analyzer person, or same
Okay.
this pathfinder, like he's a key opinion leader who understands like uh, uh, who can give us the good who can support us in CMEs and some studies, some some what you say, like some trials. So
Okay,
in
good.
that way, yeah, so these are the two behavior I understand. Persuade, who can uh who is like socializer kind of thing, something like that.
Got it. Good.
Yeah.
Samir, you connected very good. Okay, Jivan Jyoti, you raise your hand.
The cheerleader is a kind of person who is like uplifting others, encouraging others to do better, like that. And stabilizer, it can be uh, in any type of situation, they just set the mood, a
Okay.
stable one. Analyzer is the style is like they actually analyze the situation for a better solution, and they give the solution. And persuader can be like follow up type of style, follow up. They make sure the results are achieved in a better way. And the Pathfinder style, it is like finding a solution or guiding the team for a better result, like that. Is it so?
I don't know. Now let's see, because I just asked what do you think or what you know.
Okay.
Hope it's from your brain or it's from your Google Mata.
So brain.
Good, good, good. Very good. So that's where we wanted to stimulate brain before we get into this one. Yes, Bhakti Kulkarni.
So I think cheerleader would, these are the styles of change agent, that how they
Correct,
bring about the change. So first will
correct,
be the
correct.
cheerleader, like who would be cheering the people up and motivating them to do
Is it
their
from
task.
textbook you are reading or you are saying from your
No, sir,
brain
I'm
text?
just from the names what I can make out, I'm just telling that.
Okay, okay.
Then
You are
second
giving your
one,
interpretation. Good.
second is stabilizer, who tries to, like, whenever a change is made, so lots of instability would be there, so would try to stabilize it with different activities, or we can say with different reforms he will take for that. Analyzer who will analyze what exactly the problem is and try to work on the root cause. The persuader who would try to persuade the people that how it will benefit them, and that's how he can work on. And the pathfinder will help them to find the path or tell them the future benefits. So from the names, that's what I can think.
Good, good. So most of the times, if you can interpret the names, you will understand the concept as well. So let's see. Let's see what exactly these styles speak about. So these are the styles. So now you can match what extends. So the cheerleader style. So one of you read, maybe probably I would ask Bhakti, can you read the first one, the cheerleader style?
Sure, sir. The most enthusiastic approach. This is characterized by the practitioner remaining upbeat and motivated. Similar to typical cheerleader, the style is used when the happiness of those being directed is deemed important and is also helpful when change issues could affect morale.
Okay. So is it in line with what you have said?
To some extent, I would say
Yes.
to some of the extent.
Yes. So this is actually the cheerleaders are those people who always act in such a way that every member of this particular change process is highly motivated. Because probably when change comes, you will have a different styles of people, different methodologies or mindsets they're coming in. Now, these people basically they work in such a way that whatever the motivation is being generated, either negative or positive from the participants, all are directed towards only high end. So without affecting the morale of the people, they work in such a way that these people become the change agents. It's like, pep up talks, bringing in somebody, taking up to the next level, showing the glamorous picture, or whatever the kind of styles that they do. Now, it's a basically, it says very clearly, the style used when the happiness of those being directed is deemed important and is also helpful when changes issues could affect morale. So they sense that because of this change, if the morale of the employee or the participants of this change affects, it's going to be a failure. In such a case, they identify those people and then they uplift the morale of these people with this kind of things. So they are the people who try observing who are those key people who become a part of this particular change and how is that I can keep increasing their morale. Probably, there are some organizations, they announce certain better gifts to these people so that, they perform much better in the process. So that's a role of it. Okay. Next, Yogesh, can you read the second one?
Yes, sir, I'll try. It
No,
works.
reading, I'm saying, not interpreting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll read, sir. Am I
Yeah.
audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay. Okay. It works in a manner that is neither uh, overt or and undercover. It is highlighted by the practitioner's ability to work and terms and group in a calm and related manner with a goal of causing as little disruption as possible. This is preferred by upper management and larger organizations. This keeps the balance between the need and goals of management and the layman's thought, processes and feelings,
Wonderful.
processes
So
and feelings.
yeah,
Yeah,
process
because
and feeling.
I'm using mobile. I'm sorry for that because the
No
fonts are
worries.
little like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely no worries. So the stabilizer style is, it's like a, what we use, it's like underwater. There's a huge change which is happening, but down you need to manage that particular thing. So very silently you need to bring in this particular change without disturbing anywhere. Now, probably what do? They start working with only people with a small, minute things, step by step process, without making people getting alert. Now, this is the change that actually the organizations, the larger organizations wants. Because if there is any small disturbance, probably the unions will come up. Once the unions come in, once the agitations take place, you know what happens? Entire change process gets disturbed. I'll tell you an example. Suppose the organization wants to implement, or let me give you from HR example this one. Organization wants to implement the PF part, whatever the PF part, or maybe increments into your entire CTC into two parts. One is a variable part and second one is fixed amount. Now, all this while your organization is having only fixed salaries. Now the organization want to introduce a variable pay. Now, when they want to introduce a variable pay, how is that this change can be implemented without even disturbing anyone? Now, this is what is the most, this is the case. Now, this case, the stabilizer style should be very important. Now, probably the stabilizer should work in such a way, maybe giving an increment, at the same time reducing that fixed rate of increment, probably fixing it to some rate of increment, which is again a variable pay, which actually people feel it as a complete. Suppose assuming the organization is paying 10% of increment, making 8% as a fixed and 2% as a variable. Probably 2 to 3 years time, that entire part will be split into two parts. Now, this is the exactly role the stabilizer feels, where the employee doesn't feel that pain, but at the same time that has happened. Now, similarly, this also, now when new wage code comes, what happens at an organizations? They want to have 12 hours work instead of 8 hours work. Now, suddenly, if we say we are going to introduce a 12 hours work job, then probably people will go for agitation. They don't want to work. Now, what is the style that you have? Now, again,
Definitely.
what we speak, yeah. Yogesh, you wanted to say something?
No, sir, I'm not speaking.
No.
Somebody else was there.
Oh, sorry. So, what happens? The other one, when we speak about the, let me come back to this also, work from office or work from home. If you look at the organizations, they never introduced every employee to come back to the organizations immediately after this COVID. They first said, some of the organizations said, only key people, the HODs of the department should come once a week. Then they said twice a week, then thrice a week. Once 3 days in a week, they are coming in. Slowly, they said, bring in your next level people to the organization. Then to the next level people. Now, this is what a stabilizer method, where without much disturbance happening in the organization, without work getting affected, they started introducing the process of change that they want. Now, this is a role of a stabilizer that they need to play. Smaller organization, it's okay, but bigger organization, it's a very, very challenging task. Therefore, they want to go maybe either department wise, or one location wise, or maybe one unit wise, if we have to speak about the manufacturing. So that's how they want to implement a change. Now, this like, you just throw pulse, do somewhere, then people will start understanding what is happening. Then you understand the pulse, and then you start making the necessary changes. That's a stabilizer style. Okay, the third one, let's look at Jyoti, can you speak about, can you read that?
The analyzer style
Yes.
uses analytical tools to work on problems, issues, concerns, and logistics. It places overall needs of the organizations above individuals and specific team members. This is useful in situations in which the organization is willing and able to handle backlash. This is a task-oriented style.
Wonderful. So the analyzer is the person or the kind of a style which focuses on complete analysis of the situation or the change that you are going to do it. I don't know how many people know this theory known as the six thinking hats.
Yeah, we are aware of, sir.
Yeah, if you are aware about the six thinking hats, now this analyzer will play from this six different styles approach. So
Correct.
from positive to negative, the worst case, what happens? The most critical person, what he thinks about, then understands completely about it, and then puts forward in terms of what could be probable challenges that you would get, what could be probable problems that the people would be facing, what could be probable concerns that are required or to be addressed by the management, what is the kind of supports or logistics that you need to have it. Now the complete picture this analyzer will give. Now this is one of the most important tasks before implementing anything. It can be a separate style as well, or it can be a part of change agent style as well. So that's the most important. Okay, the next, what we, Sandeep or Naren,
Yes,
anybody
sir.
who can?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. I can read it.
yeah, please, Naren. The persuader.
The persuader one. No? This style works in maintaining harmony in situations where change in process or policy could have a negative impact on morale, work environment, or thought process. They remain neutral in both thought and approach. This maintains a low-key approach, and staying on task are among the ways in which this style is unique. This is the least confrontational approach, as practitioner works independently on task and does not seek the inputs of others, but persuade others that the task is on right track.
Wonderful. So I think, Naren, recollecting some of the comments made by your team members on you, this style is applicable to you.
Sir,
Correct? Last class, I think somebody said you are the
Like,
person
Correct,
who.
correct.
Correct?
You are correct, sir. Yeah, this I remember that was Sudarshan. Sudarshan told about him.
Sudarshan told about Naren,
Yes, yes, yes. We remember, sir.
and coincidentally, you are reading the same style. This.
Correct.
Okay, good, good. So this is actually, without having any negativity, you have to be a persuader. You should not get into a problem. You should not allow the other person to get into a problem. Now, it's not a confrontational. You can't fight with the people. Very gently, very softly, bring everybody into online in the same system, maintaining that harmony among the people in whatever the kind of situations. It's a beautiful. Good. The last one, yeah, Divya.
So the example that you gave in stabilizer style, where you talked about the change in work timings or maybe work from home to work from office transition for employees. So can this be a dealt in persuasive style as well? Because I think underplaying this issue, because this issue will be something that will be changing or impacting the lifestyle of a person. So the resistance in this case, I think, will be more from the employees.
See, that is why I have given you, there is no interdependence of one style to the other here. Now, that's a reason we said in the beginning itself, each style, there are different styles. The styles could be applicable based upon the situation. This is what we mentioned here very clearly. So styles are available to help to suit the needs of the each organizations and unique makeup, different organization practitioners. So probably when I'm speaking about here in this slide, the both, the stabilizer style and the persuader style can be complementary. I wouldn't say it gives you a dent, it can be complementary. Now,
Okay.
because persuade, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So when I'm speaking about probably it can be complementary or probably it can be unique as well. Suppose if you are using a stabilizer style, there you may not require any persuader. But even while you stabilize, where people, some of them, you will have a hard nuts where they will be cracking. That's where you would require a persuader. Because that's where one-on-one is mostly required. It's not a confrontational approach. But independently, you have to work on a task, each task. Okay. But you are not asking inputs as well here. It's only making or pushing the people to do it. Unless you push the people to do it, things will not happen. This works very well in the smaller organizations because there's no other option. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So can somebody read this last one, the Pathfinder style?
No, sorry, I want a little
Yeah,
more
Padma.
clarity on the Pathfinder style, sir, because it is concerning OD practitioners. So
I have
if you
not
can,
explained Pathfinder, so I would ask somebody to read this, then we'll discuss on that.
Yes, sir, Sandeep here.
Yes, Sandeep.
The Pathfinder style, it is most team-oriented and focused method one can choose. The focus of OD practitioner is this style is to keep everyone focused on the same goal. It believes in the premise that strength exists in numbers. The meaning of Pathfinder is that OD practitioner has to keep moving everyone in same direction and active involved.
Thank you. So the Pathfinder style says, there is a proverb which we have. The paths are made only by walking repeatedly on the same footsteps. Now, it's something like that. The Pathfinder is a person who believes that this change is going to be very good and positive, and then he motivates the others. Let me give you an example. I don't know, it may be little away from the subject, but let me give you this example. Most of us would have written exams. After writing the exam, you come out of the exam hall, and then what do we do there? We start asking, how is the question paper? How is the question paper? And so on. Suppose if you have written your exam little bad, and then you say the question paper is very tough, we couldn't understand, there, it's out of syllabus, and then you keep talking. Suddenly somebody comes and says, yes, it's a very really tough. Then you join that particular person. Then both of you together, you go to the third person. That's how you keep gathering the people who are there, who say tough, and then you feel very happy that question paper is tough. Now, suppose you encounter somebody who says, no, question paper is very easy, I could have done very well. You avoid that person, you move away from that particular person. Now, here, the Pathfinder style is, he is the person, whatever the person believes in, he starts ensuring that everybody in the team believes in the same. So he brings the people together to walk on the same path, by which he creates a path towards that particular change. That's a role of a Pathfinder. It's not, suddenly it's happening. It's a kind of vibes that you are creating slowly here and there, collecting the common mindset of the people, then you are walking towards the same direction. That's a Pathfinder style. Yes. Parul, now have you understood?
Mr. Reddy, like for example, I'm just kind of relating to my line of work.
I
Everything is
can't
just
hear you.
done.
Parul, I think we are not, your voice is not clear. Maybe it's only
Is
for
it
me or
not
some.
clear?
Yeah, now it's better.
Is it better? Okay. Just a second, I realize what is the issue.
Yeah, you are clear now.
I'm clear? All right. So I'm now relating to this my line of work. Just only we have done something called as employee engagement survey. So when we are trying to understand trends in the engagement, and as an engagement team, we are also the ones who are trying to understand the data and also then prepare an action plan which basically talks about interventions. So one is the analyzer style is what I'm able to relate to. And pathfinder style is when we are trying to do the deep sticks, like the focus group discussion, when we are trying to understand the pulse of the team, and then we are trying to marry the findings of both the analyzer and the pathfinder, and then trying to devise something. Am I saying, is it right? Is that understanding correct?
See, when you're doing a discussion based and so on, that's not, see, the pathfinder style is, suppose you are doing, uh, some OD intervention in terms of understanding employee engagement. Now, the pathfinder style is to understand, suppose if you want to implement a team cross-functional discussions that to happen. Now, what do? You send out your team to understand how many people are interested in this particular thing, the point number one. Second, once they understood, then they slowly talk about this particular thing about importance of collaborating one department to the other department. So that means you are laying a path with a clear intention that you wanted to execute a cross-functional department discussions. That's where the engagement happens. You are not seeking anybody's opinion here. You're only trying to collect the people who are of the same interest of yours, and then you are driving this particular activity towards that.
So basically, specifically identifying a cohort which is more interested in this, and then from there building the success story.
Yes, who believes in the same principle as you believe in.
So in a way, what you're saying is this Pathfinder is very successful where the sentiment is not like cut, copy, paste, you put it one approach
No,
goes for everyone. No. We are
no,
rather
no.
being very contextual in terms of who is interesting and they are the ones who are taking it forward.
Correct. Now, see,
Makes
I'll
sense.
tell you, when you are implementing certain things in the organization, it's not only about the organization. Probably these 5 styles can be implemented to 5 different departments. All of them may not accept this same style, correct? The finance person,
Absolutely.
he wants to look at more of analytical things. The HR people, marketing people, more of a cheerleader styles. Okay, purchase people, probably a persuader style that they require because they got used into some system, some vendor, and they want to fix onto that. Now, this is how you need to analyze the departments first. You need to understand the mindsets of the people over there. Then you start implementing a style. Yes, Bhakti Kulkarni.
Sir, is it like finding the ratio of who are interested in this change, and like suppose 20% are okay with this change, 80% are the people who are not accepting the change. So let's make a workaround for them. 80% not on the 20%.
No, it's forget about those 20 percentage. It's only 80 percentage. That's what it says very clearly. Look at this statement. The focus of OD practitioner in this style is to keep everyone focused on the same goal and believes in the premise that strength exists in numbers. So the more and more number you keep on adding it, that's a strength. Who believe in the change mindset that you have, that belief system that exists. That's all. Because when you're focusing on those 20 percentage, probably they might require other style, but you want to bring in as many people as possible with your mindset. That's how you become a pathfinder. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
And when you're saying analyzer style, it basically means when the organization is very clear, कि भाई, this is what we have to do, this is what we will take it forward because we have, let's say, data backing and everything. We are taking it forward with full conviction. Is that the understanding of analyzer style?
So the analyzer style, it basically focuses on what needs to be provided, what are the probable challenges, what are the probable issues, what type of concerns that the people would come about, and so on. Am I clear? So you bring in all those needs, then address them together. Say that if you go to finance person, usually if you look at What do they ask for? Where is this bill? Why it has come? Why so many days? Why so much of it? So that clarity you are giving, it's like a thinking from a financial perspective, or maybe a clarity, or maybe before setting up a business, what do you think about? Who are my customers? What is my objectives? What happens if I lose my business? What happens if my ROI doesn't come in next 3 years time? How do I manage? Who are the people that I require? All those things that you have. So it's a kind of analytical mindset which you apply, and then you say that now ready to go.
Got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bhakti, you raised your hand once again, or it's the same hand raised?
No, sir. Sir, in this case, can a situation be taken, and if you can take a situation and tell what step cheerleader style?
Yeah, that's what I want you to do. Instead of me explaining to you what exactly a situation. Now, next 10 minutes, what I'm going to do is that I just wanted to understand your understanding levels as well. So I'll be splitting into your teams. Each team will take one style, and then you discuss, come with a small case study or maybe some situation. So then let me understand and clarify based upon that. Okay, that's what I wanted to do that. So I'm just quickly splitting into 5 breakout rooms because this is the first time that I'm doing your breakout rooms. Let's see. I'm only giving you hardly 5 minutes time, not beyond that. I think that should be good enough. 5 minutes, or you want more time? Let's see. Let me make it as a 7 minutes time.
Guys, what was the task? I guess कोई है नहीं यहाँ.
Yeah, Jyoti?
Can you repeat the task?
No, I said each one of you to get into this one. Okay, I have to give you a task as well, no? So let me, each team will have to take up one style and then they explain. That's where I'll be joining in teams and then come back quickly.
Okay, okay. Please alert us, na? On join.
I think so. We out
Jugal? Sai? Yeah. So all are back. Yeah, team one. Quickly,
So,
we'll just take. Yeah.
so our style was the cheerleader style. The scenario
Okay.
that we discussed was with regards to the fact that one of the program, basically there is a function called impact function,
Mm-hmm.
and it has now been restructured in a way that the function is now merged
Mm-hmm.
into the program teams, meaning that it is not the entire team which was part of the impact function is now firstly split and it is absorbed within the program. So when I'm saying program, I'm talking about one is the livelihood program, and I'm from not-for-profit space. So folks, just to let you know, the terms may be different, but it's a similar context. So there is like an audit kind of a function. It is merged, it's broken, split, and absorbed within the different, you can say, program teams. Um, and one of the program team falls into my vertical. The sentiment of these folks is very low. They have low morale. Their leadership is gone. And what is their concerns? The concerns emerging is that as an impact function, it should be a standalone function. It should run independently. It should not be getting dominance from the program team. So that the findings and the results are untainted, they're authentic, and those findings are is something that leadership looks at it and not kind of influences it, changes it at any cost, because then the whole purpose of the impact goes away. So this is their concern area. Now in the current status quo, it's very important that firstly, as a leader of the new program function, is able to uplift their morale, is able to understand their concern, is able to build that emotional connect, build on the relationship quotient. Second thing is very important to work on the inclusivity level as well. That though even if it's a small team, because there is an impact function and they will not be working directly with programs, they have to have a different functional altogether. Even then, the inclusivity is maintained so that they are having the visibility as to what the business strategy is, what is the expansion going to be, and how it is going, what the results are being there. So even in the team, their discussions should happen. And it's very important that we are giving them the room to operate. We are giving them the room to work, function. So all of this has to be taken care of by the leader, specifically by the reporting manager, and the balance has to be maintained, and key significance is in terms of ensuring their morale level is good, they are well
So I
engaged.
understand from your conversation, irrespective of the conditions and situations and whatever it is, the leader should keep motivating everybody towards this particular, cheer up everybody towards this particular program known as the impact.
Yes.
Correct? So that's a leader's role, cheerleader's role, you are saying, whoever it is, either reporting manager or junior or
So,
senior.
the leader should be able to firstly give that room of acceptance to these new team members who are coming into his function,
Good.
into his program.
Good. Okay, good. Okay, team two, are any additions to team one's points? Parul? Okay, if not, team two.
Team two, Sneha will be able to add something because I had a power cut, so I could not join. Just rejoining.
I think Sheshagiri and Sneha, only both of them were there in team two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I also
So
joined a little late.
Jugal
And in
joined
fact,
in,
with
yes.
Okay, Jugal
Sneha,
joined.
we discussed a couple of things. So Sneha, I think you can start, then I will add some pointers to that particular thing that we discussed.
Okay, in the cheerleader style, I can give one live example of where I'm working currently. So it's a
Sneha, which
merger.
style you are speaking about?
Stabilizer.
Sorry, stabilizer. I'm so sorry. It's
Stabilizer,
not.
yes.
Yes,
Because I
yes.
heard cheerleader, that's why.
I said cheerleader, but that is by mistake. It's
Okay.
stabilizer. So where I'm working currently, it's a mergers and acquisition firm, and it's not a proprietorship firm, but it's a one man kind of a firm where all the decisions are taken by him. Now there is a policy change which we want to implement, wherein we want to extend the appraisal cycle duration. So instead of 12 months, we want to keep it 15 months. So, however, the effective date will be 12 months, but now having this cooling off period of 3 months is something which needs to be communicated and well managed between to the employees. So here, the approach which I'm taking, I'm trying to involve all the leadership or the SBU heads, wherein they are going to communicate this to their team members in a very subtle way, saying that we will have this kind of cooling off period. So I mean, this is what I can uh, remember just now to give the example. Jugal, if you want to add anything to this, please let me know.
Yeah, sure. So I think that's what we were discussing. And in fact, like in my organization also, Dr. Reddy, that a lot of changes are happening. I think during our last sessions also I talked about. So right now, I think the kind of a change which I am observing, it is related to the processes and the roles and the profiles of certain middle management and the senior leadership also. So here I'm seeing that I think, and I can correlate with this stabilizer style, that right now we are actually taking a call to remove, or I think I would say to stop doing a complete activity where a huge bandwidth of the manpower was involved. So we are actually moving from a transactional quality audits to the entire customer experience kind of a thing. So I actually work for customer experience department, and earlier I was only managing the training delivery function. But right
Okay.
now it is actually going to be a part of not only training delivery, but the partner quality thing will also come into the role. So how our leadership is actually like injecting these kind of a change process into the overall ecosystem. So while they are actually trying to give this additional responsibility to the training delivery POCs or the managers who are deployed and deputed to the different partner locations. So not only I think safeguard their job, and but they are actually trying to increase their potential as well. Apart from that, like while I'm able to see that the people who were involved in this transactional quality only, now they will be given a responsibility of end-to-end customer experience management. So they will become a part of the entire CX PMO kind of a thing, where they will be running different project managements, and then they will be looking into the not only the L0 metrics, but from the experience per se, they will be trying to identify the coaching and the training needs, and then how can we correct the processes, and then how we can enable our agent ecosystem also, so that they can provide
Right.
the complete and correct resolution. So while this is a very, very big disruption into the overall org, and people will definitely be looking into it, that my core competency is training, then why this quality part is
Yeah.
getting added into my portfolio. Second thing, if a person is involved in the quality piece and now he is actually not going to do that particular thing, so he might be thinking that, okay, my job is at stake. So rather than removing someone or maybe giving them a pink slip, he is actually, or the leaders like who are involved, they are actually helping everyone, and then trying to give that sort of a potential with the proper communication, training,
So
and the handover as well.
yeah, this is where Jugal, I think, the stabilizer role plays a vital.
Correct.
Because when people are in a certain kind of a dilemma, that what would happen because of this particular change, because you said why this quality is being introduced to my portfolio, so all these questions will come in.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah. So team 3.
Yes, sir. In team three, I'm going to explain. So initially we were discussing about cheerleader, and we thought of that cheerleader encompasses all others four. In fact, to be a cheerleader, you need to have an good analyzer, first stabilizer, then analyzer, pathfinder, and persuader. So then we came back to analyzer, and we discussed that the analysis is one aspect, and second aspect is to take decision on the basis of that particular analysis and how to interpret that analysis. So analysis type of approach is more relevant in especially when we discuss about the businesses in sales and marketing. It is very much relevant that on the basis of the analysis the decisions are made. So this is an example of analysis type of approach, and it also depends on the mindset and motivation level of the leader, how uh, how he clubs analysis with what other type of style. Because as per me personally, analysis in isolation will not work. It should be complemented with another type of style like
No, but
motivation or cheerleading.
no, Naren, what I was asking in terms of analyzer style. So what are the things that needs to be required or looked into? Now, that's where I wanted you to pick up any suppose a change, like Jugal was mentioning that in their organization there is a huge change which is going to happen. Now, in that change, probably what are those things that are required to implement that particular change? So you as a change agent, I made you as in charge of Naren. Now we want to implement this particular change. What are those things that we need to put in place or looked into? Now that's a checklist method that you need to come about. What could be process? What could be the requirements? What could be the challenges? What could be the concerns which would be coming in? What is the burden of the organization which has to come in?
Sir, for analysis method, we need data and authenticated
Correct.
data. Then collation of those data in structured manner so that it helps in decision making, proper decision making.
Okay, good.
So that is one aspect we can think of.
Yes. Anything else? Addition to
Uh,
that?
no, sir. No, sir. With respect to analysis, then this is what we could think of.
Good. Team 4?
Sir, in team for me, Sandeep and IESTD, we three were there. Our topic is persuasive. So in this style, we took the case of our own classes, like having less attendance, and what we could be able to understand is in this style, first we have to set a goal, like a target, what we want to achieve, and with that we have to start rekindling one interest in the participants, so that they will find a sense of um, uh, why they need to attend the classes. That is first one. And then we can bring a connection. It can be emotional, professional, or personal, inclined with the organization, so that connection is much more important. And then the third one is we can keep on celebrating the small achievements of the class, ongoing classes, and then the participants will get more interest to attend more classes and have a huge attendance as expected. But at the same time, the concerns, like in what if the participants, few participants who are like, I don't need, or I don't want, I'm not interested, you do whatever. So what is uh, this style going to deal in that situation, that we could not be able to understand? That is the first concern. And the second concern is because this style is confrontation, it avoids confrontation. So in such situation, how it is going to deal the crisis? These are the two concerns we found.
It's a very simple. Let me explain to you your concerns.
Uh,
So probably I'll say, look at this persuasive style in a family. Okay, there's a conflict between husband and wife.
okay.
Okay, now you have to persuade the person to get something, the spouse to get something or do something. What happens if you go confrontational? Without getting into confrontational, how can you be persuasive? I don't need to say. You all will know much better when I speak about.
Okay. But
Or
that
maybe
needs much more personal attention.
whatever it is. See, that's what I'm saying. Persuasive style is getting into the shoes of them, convincing them, or as if you are in line with them and bringing them back to what is your expectations.
Okay.
It's a very simple. It's a kind of a child. As I said, I was doing a child psychology. Very simple. Child, when they move from child to adult, you can't confront. If you confront, every adult will move away from you. But if you understand getting into their mindset, what exactly the child is, and then bring them back to an awareness, stating that this is what is required, that's a persuasive style. If you confront, let me see, even I can do by myself. So that's where the conflicts will happen in the families. Now,
Sir, can you give any professional example?
Professional example, very simple. You and your boss are struggling, correct? So you have to say to your boss that this project is not going to work. What happens if you confront with your boss? It's a very simple.
Sir,
Either
I
you lose
have
the
to
project.
I have to say something in regards of the same that you are talking, that this project might not work, but there should be a data backing it.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you go and say this project doesn't work and it's a useless, it's a waste of time, you will lose a job, or you will be out of this project, or you will be deadly ignored, and you will be sufferer.
Okay.
But that's not your purpose. Without getting into that confrontational, you have to be persuasive to make your boss to understand this doesn't work. Now, to that become a persuasive, you require your data, you require your examples, you get into the boss mindset first, as if you are doing it with your intention that it's not happening, but you say that because you said I'm doing all those things, but I see these are the loopholes. Because when you start inclining towards my work, I start listening to you, right?
And what if the boss still stays on the same stand that, this will work? Sure. After showing all the data, meetings, whatever, like, जो भी हो सकता था.
No, that's exactly I'm saying. See, there is up to 10%, 20%, you can get into the work, and I'm sure there can be transition which happens. But in the beginning itself, if you say it doesn't work, and the boss says, you show me how it doesn't work, and then you start giving in data, even if you do 50%, boss will not accept. Because you are already operating with a negative mindset. So therefore, your persuasion will not work. Because your confrontation has already began there.
Okay, so in a nutshell, like we have to get into their shoes and then we have to bring them into our shoes and make
Yes.
the things happen.
So it doesn't happen, keep it yourself. Prepare complete data as per the requirement of the boss.
Okay.
Then go there and show, then, sir, I have done as you said, but I see XYZ gaps, and how do I go about? Probably he'll suggest, go back and come back again. Probably third time, then he will realize. It an persuasion, the word itself says persuade. It is an effort taking. It's not just saying.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Okay.
what I'm understanding, Dr. Reddy, is that the key here is that we will know that it will take back and forth, but it is important that we first go and tell him the data and ask their opinions from the leader, come back
Yes.
and then work on that and then show. But again, to do to and back and forth so that we
It
get
would
there.
happen. Persuasion is nothing but, if you read the definition of a persuasion, what? It's a repeatedly doing. It's a repeated attempts. Now, the same thing, that's what I'm saying. First time, if you go and say that, no, it doesn't work, finish. It's a confrontation. And even if you come with the data, I know you are already operating with a negative mindset and it doesn't work. I know you don't want to do it. You will show the gaps.
Dr. Reddy, can I ask you one question? It's very
Yes.
important because considering all this scenario. So what I'm trying to understand here is, let's say the scenario that initially I spoke about, the program and everything. It's a real case scenario that I was speaking about. Now I have to go and speak to the leadership that, hey, this is what, let's say, the concerns are of the new team members which are emerging, who have come into this thing. We recommend you this. Like we will recommend you to do this leadership approach and everything. So what I'm understanding is going to be backfire. Better
Absolutely.
I go and ask the person that this is what their concerns are, this is what the basis, let's say one-on-one discussions and everything, this is what the needs are emerging. As per you, what will be your leadership style to, let's say, address this, and how can we ensure their engagement is high? Then we are talking. Is that the right approach, Dr.
No.
Reddy? Then
What you need to do, first play analyzer role. If you say these are the concerns of the people, finish. Usually the management wouldn't like those kind of things. It's like, when management says something, they don't want to be confronted. It's a very, it's like example, in MBA, there's only two principles. If you want to become successful, there are only two principles. One is, remember the principle number one is, boss is always right. Principle number two, if you think boss is wrong, please refer to principle number one. You understood what I said?
Boss is always right.
Principle
I
number one.
understood that boss is always right and not to confront, but in this specific situation, you are kind
No,
of
that's
saying
what
that
I'm saying. Suppose if somebody says, okay, let's go and let's do it. Wonderful, we will do it. Come out with a complete project plan and then project stating that this is what I have done. Probably these are the areas when I did this analytical style, I have observed these are the concerns, these are the things that we need to come about. How are we prepared? Are we ready to take up? Don't say that it's a people concern. Say that it's an analytical style I have applied in order to execute this particular project.
Dr.
See,
Reddy, I get your
yeah.
I get your perspective, but for example, when we are doing this pulse survey analysis, we any which ways will wear the analytical hat and bring out all the findings because data says this, this is a
Parul, there are
sentiment.
two things. There are two things. One
But then,
is you present the data. When you present the data, there is always the mind which you project this data. It's a very clear whether you are positive towards this project or negative towards this project. I'll tell you, remember that the chairman or CEO or the senior folks, they will not become angry just by looking at the data. They become angry, they don't like, or they understand the data only through the interpreters. They will simply say, sir, I think there's something wrong here, finish. He will focus only on that. Anyway, we can discuss more on offline in case if you require specific need for this particular thing, because we just have few minutes and I think today we dealt hardly only 2 slides. I'm okay because the discussion is positive. I'm fine. Okay, we'll just take 2 more people. I think they raised this one. Jugal.
I just want to put one thing last.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so like what my boss simply says is that whatever thing that you can interpret from here, come with at least 10 solutions. Otherwise, do not tell me. I know there are 100 problems in the world. If you can come up with the solution, then I can listen to you. Otherwise, do whatever that is running in the organization.
Yeah,
It's
that's
as
the right
simple
approach. That's the right approach, no?
Do not come with 1 or 2 solutions. There
Or
has
else,
to be almost 10.
if you go with a problem, you don't require Sudarshan. Anybody can come with
Absolutely.
any problem.
Why should I be required there?
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you,
that is
Doctor.
what the intent.
In fact, I do same. If somebody comes to me, I say, come with the problem and come with your options. Probably I'll suggest what is the best option, or I will add on to that. Don't wear my brain in your brain. Wear your brain and come for this one little more expansion. Anyway, good. Yeah, Jugal. Sorry.
No, but I think, Dr. Reddy, it becomes very, very difficult when you have a kind of a leader who always have that persuade style kind of a thing. If I talk about like my super bosses, like the kind of a discussion which was happening between Parul, Sudarshan, and you, I think one more example which I could give, I don't know how much relevant it would be, but I think with the same kind of a thing, which I talked about role change. So one of my team member who was a part of training delivery for almost like 8 to 9 years. Now, my super boss asked me to change her role from a training delivery to a content person. So now I had to put that particular lady into the content management and then preparing the content for a very specific topic, which is interaction design, and which is a new subject for everyone in the org right now. Now, when we started having a conversation, in fact, I invited my boss also. Somehow we were not able to like give her the complete picture because the subject is new. No one knows that okay how much like relevant this particular topic will be with the kind of a role that that lady is going to opt for, and what will be the progression in that. And then suddenly what happened? My super boss came there. Initially, he started taking questions, but then later on, he just used one thing that either you want to opt for this particular role or not. And then the lady was not having any answer. Then she said that, yes, I really would like to, but what if I do not? Then he asked that, okay, then there is no choice. Fill up the IGPs and then look for a different role. And that was the last thing. After that, there was no such discussion. The lady accepted it. So sometimes it happens that there are people, there are leaders like who have already prepared that particular blueprint and they know that okay, how I have to like get this particular thing done. They just look at the task. They do not look at the emotions or they really do not want to involve anyone's feelings in there. They're very much clear about the things. When we as a manager or maybe as a human being start having a conversation with such sensitive issues, we generally like flow with the emotions, feelings and a lot.
But
I don't know how much this example or maybe this
no.
thing.
This is the current situation which is working on. But Jugal, I'm damn sure next to 5 to 10 years, it will become reverse. I want this role. If you want to give me, or else I'll quit and go this company.
Could be, sir, but I don't
Because
know.
the
Maybe
current generation, it's a probably they
yeah,
have a multiple options.
correct, correct.
Unfortunately, we are loyalists to the company and job. Therefore, we are afraid to the bosses. It's like, those days we used to be afraid of the teachers. Today, teachers are afraid of the students.
Exactly. And in fact, I think you are very correct on this with the Gen Zs kind of a people. I'm seeing that whosoever like we have given an opportunity as an intern and we tried absorbing them, a very good position, a very good compensation, but like when they are facing these kind of a dynamic changes, they are not able to like accustomed with the change management. And then they are saying that no, this is not my cup of tea and I am getting in another
Yes.
option, I'm going.
I'll give you a case. One girl joined in a company from a big school. Day one, she was given everything and so on. Day two, she worked. And the end of the day two, she kept all those things. And she said, thank you very much. It doesn't suit me. We said, what about your notice period? Hell with your notice period. I don't require your letters or anything. She just moved out.
Correct, correct, absolutely.
So I'm sure this we are going to change anyway. But anyway, what we are talking is a world, but future is going to be little. I think we have to reverse all these concepts, maybe probably. Boss is no more right.
Exactly. The
No,
boss is
it has already started, sir. Just to add here, if you allow, in my organization also, earlier we used to like work for 9 hours. It has been like for last 1 year. It is 8 to 4. Like you complete 8 hours, you can move. It is the HR policy which has been changed. So now, as Mr. Jugal is talking about Gen Z, so those Gen Z are just they are putting the alarms. Okay, the moment their their 8 hours are getting completed, they are just picking their
They log
bags
out,
and moving. Yes,
irrespective
and
of where
and
the work is.
yes, and some cases wherein boss are asking that what happened, your data is yet to come. They are simply asking, sir, extra time hours are not allowed,
I'm
and
paid only
anyway
for eight
company is not.
hours.
Yeah, I'm paid for straight away. Okay, and that has changed all the scenarios. Even now, what happened? The senior people are also moving, and I've also started like thinking that why I'm wasting my time.
so that
So
is the
this
only
is the
thing,
fact. This
Captain
is the
Lokesh.
fact.
We are still like burning our midnight oil for all these kind of
Actually,
problems.
no. That is your anyway. See, Saturday and Sunday is off for me, and still I am approving lots of this POs and PODs and
Correct,
doing
correct.
compliance work. What to do, you know? So,
Well,
but I'm talking
sorry,
like
Yogesh.
sometime it happens.
Yogesh, by chance, if you call somebody, Monday you will have to report in the court, not in the office. Be careful.
Correct.
Okay, good discussion. Okay, Jivan Jyoti.
Sir, only one doubt I have, like in this style, persuasive, do we have to feed slightly ego of the boss? Ego.
I don't know if you call it as a ego, yes, but if you have to call it to get into the shoes of the other person, it's not an ego. It depends upon how you interpret that particular thing.
How we interpret. Okay, fine.
That's all.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I think, I don't know, I have, good. We are halfway of the class, but I'll continue this class next week only. Good that we had a discussion. But yeah, my mail ID is Anand. Okay, let me type it here. Yeah, that's my mail ID. You can do that. So there's one quickly. I'll just close. Maybe it's a thought for process for the next week class. I just don't want to leave you idle. So since we closed on this, just 2 minutes I'll take. See, there are OD practitioners. There are two types of practitioners. What we have. One is people. See, these are those specializing in OD profession who offer a professional services to the organization, whoever it is. So it's like a promoting open communication, employee involvement, personal growth, and so on. We'll discuss about it in detail. There are two types of OD practitioners. One is internal practitioners and external practitioners. Okay, these are the two types of practitioners. Now, I want you to just think over during the weekend or maybe next week, and then discuss about compare between external OD practitioners and internal OD practitioners. Who are better? Suppose if the OD initiatives have to be done, who are better in terms of this OD practitioners? This is what I want you all to just focus on. So am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all. I just don't want to take much of your time. I just want you to focus who is good in terms of an internal OD practitioner or external OD practitioner in order to implement some change in the organizations. Okay, rest all we will discuss in the next, even I'll give you detailed definition of all those things as well later. Okay, then thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank